Hey guys, welcome back. And today we start with a new series of functions, that is lookup and reference functions. Now, these are very important functions that we'll go through. And the today's function that we are going to look at is a VLOOKUP function. Very important and widely used to fetch values in any kind of arrays or data. Now, Excel VLOOKUP function searches for a valuable data in any kind of arrays or columns using the lookup value. So there has to be one lookup value. For our example, we look as ID as the lookup value over here. The V stands for. Now over here in the VLOOKUP, the V stands for vertical. Okay, so it will look for values vertically. Yeah, which means exploring the data vertically. This function now is a part of lookup and reference functions, as I told you. Um, while you're playing with millions of data, extracting some column or some value from a particular column is very challenging, as we know. Yeah, for an example, if this were around thousands of employees searching for a salary one by one, or quantity sold one by one based on the ID, would be very difficult. Yeah, if I have to search for a category as well. So VLOOKUP function makes this job a bit easier, but like much easier when you're trying to look up those particular values in a data. Yeah. So let's first understand the function. Yeah. The syntax of the function. So VLOOKUP, then you have the open brackets, then you have the lookup value, the value that you need to look up. So lookup value, it specifies any numeric value or a cell reference that you want to look up. So the lookup value must be presented or present in the table of arrays first column. Okay. So whichever reference table array. So let me put this again, table of array. So the lookup value over here, which we have specified earlier as first argument, has to be the first column in this table of array. Okay, or it will give you an error. Yeah. Then you have to specify which column or the column number, which from where you need to specify the or pull the value. Yeah. And lastly, you have to specify whether uh, the range lookup, that is whether it has to be exact match, or it could be could be the closest match. Okay, to be searched. So let's first go through this particular function, and you will be able to understand how this particular function works. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand is when I am trying to use VLOOKUP function. So I'll write VLOOKUP, open brackets. Yes. Suppose I want to look up the value. Let me put the value here. Yeah. Yeah. And I specify the table of array. So this is my table array, which I'm looking out for. I'll say comma. Then I have to specify the column index. So column index, suppose I'm looking out for quantity. So that quantity is in this table is the fourth column. So I have to specify 4, and I want the exact match. For exact match, I have to specify as 0, or I can specify as false. Okay, 0 will take the value as false automatically. Yeah. And if you type false, it will be also okay. For true, it would be 1, or you can type true. That will be for closest match. Okay, right now we'll just stick to a formula that is 0. That's what I use normally. Yeah, right now it gave you an error. Why? Because I have not specified any value to the cell reference that I am trying to find. So here, if I specify 1, I want to find quantity of 1. So you can see here the quantity of 1 is 100, which is in the 4th column, and it has automatically identified it. Suppose I specify the value as 18. It should give me the quantity as 0. So let's see whether I'm able to get it. Yeah. Let me see 15. Yes, I am able to get the quantity as 60, which is the right thing. Okay. So here we found out quantity. Yeah. Let's try to find out the category. Now here you can see the category from the first column is 1, 2. The first column would be always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So what I need to do is I need to modify this formula and make the column index change to 7. Okay. So let's see if it is able to give me the category based on the above value. So you can see 15th index is books. Okay. So the point here to remember in any lookup is first you need to specify the lookup value that you want to see in the table of arrays that we have specified. And this value has to be in the first column always. Okay, for VLOOKUP. And 7 is the column index which you want to be searched for that particular index. Yeah, for this particular lookup value, which column you want to search for. And then whether it has to be exact match or approximate match. Yeah. Now you need to be careful is suppose I specify the value which is not available in this ID, which is the table of arrays, first column. So suppose I specify the value as 20, which is not available in this ID column. It will give me any error because there is no value as such which is 20 in this VLOOKUP array. But if I add this value at a later date, it will search this value and give me the exact match. But in this case, since I have specified the value at 20, you can see our table array is referencing only this data, wherein 20 is not available in this array of the table array that we have selected to be searched. In that case, you need to extend the search or extend the number of rows to include 20. Yeah, then it will give me a option the data. But since category doesn't have anything, I have to again change this to 22. Yes, then it will give me something. Yeah, but right now we do not have any data for it. Suppose I'll just add the data to give you the answer, and you'll find the data being automatically updated. So people usually make mistakes while doing VLOOKUP is they do not specify the table of arrays properly, because of which the or at a later date they add some more data there to the table, and that is not included in the VLOOKUP value. So ideally what I do is I ideally select the entire column, but the con that or the false or you can say the negative aspect of selecting all columns is VLOOKUP then take a longer time or would take much higher time to process your VLOOKUP, and your Excel would become heavy because it is searching for all rows or the 10 lakh rows that you have in a particular sheet. Hence, we have specified only this particular data. So VLOOKUP, you need to see to it that you specify the lookup value, which has to be the first column within the data always. And then the table of array should contain all the data that you want to be searched for while you are searching for this lookup array. Next is the column index which you want to search. So that has to be is very important as well. Lastly, 0 whether you want to have the exact match or probable match. Okay. So I guess this VLOOKUP function and also the error, as you saw, if the value is not available, it will give you an error. There's one more place in which you can get an error is if I specify the column index, which is out of this table of array. So I have only 7 columns in this table of array. You can see here, there are only 7 columns. Yeah. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I have the table array which has only 7 columns. But if I suppose I change the column index, if I change the column number and make it out of index, so I put it as 10, it will again give you a reference error. Yeah. So you will get a reference error if the column index specified is out of your table reference, that is the table array range. So you cannot have a column which is out of the range of your table of array. We need to be careful on it. Okay. So this is a simple way of using VLOOKUP function. Now, the points that you need to remember is you can use wildcard characters in the first argument to look up when specifying the false way value. Yeah. So you can use a wildcard character. Now the best practice using VLOOKUP function is to sort the first column. So you need, if this is in a sorted manner, the lookup or the VLOOKUP functions takes minimum processing time and it searches for the value faster. It's like indexing your data before you do a search. Yeah. Now, to quickly fill in the formula in cell ranges, you must utilize the absolute ranges. Now, suppose I want to find different values. So suppose I have a list of value 1, 5, 6, 7, and I use this same formula and drag it across all the values, you may get an incorrect data. Why? Because you can see here there is a table array that we have specified. But as I copy this formula down, the table array has shifted. You can see in the table, the selection has moved down. Again, if I move down, it has further moved to the next cell. If I move down, further move to the next cell. So what you need to do is we need to make this a table of array an absolute reference. You can check my previous video on how to have absolute references. So I need to use dollar signs before the cell references so that I make it fixed. And then if I drag these values, if I drag these columns, okay, I need to fix this as well, the lookup value. So I'm fixing this as well. So let's see. You can see I am able to get the relevant. Okay, I need to, let's see, I want this value to be looked in. Yeah. So let me copy it. You can see. So this way, my cell reference table of array remains constant using the absolute arrays. Yeah. So while copying or filling the data for multiple lookups, you need to see to it that you make the table array constant by using the absolute referencing. Yeah. There are few practical difficulties people find while doing VLOOKUP is sometimes you're trying to VLOOKUP a value having a space at the start. So start or the beginning. So you need to trim your data at the first column which you're trying to VLOOKUP. So for an example, I try to add some more spaces after one, and you'll find the formula. You can find here the formula is not able to find the number one. So let me just add a space here, and you'll find it is not able to find the number one wherein it is available in the data. In that case, you need to see to it that you always remove the spaces which are available where you are trying to look up. Yeah. So that you do not get any kind of error. Now, if suppose you are trying to look up for a text value, you need to add the lookup value in double quotes. Okay, these are a few things, small things that you need to be careful of while using VLOOKUP function. Hope I was able to make the concepts clear regards to this particular function. Hope you understood it very well and you'll use it while looking up or referencing a particular value in your data. Hope you like this video. Do like it, share it across with your colleagues who want to learn Excel. Comment if you want me to cover any topics in this 365 days of Excel journey. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to my channel because that's how you're going to get all the notification of my future videos uploaded on YouTube. And that will also keep me motivated towards creating such free content. Thank you so much.